Hey, how are you all? This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru. And y'all know I love helping women align with their life purpose so that they confidently and courageously live the amazing lives that they deserve. And I do that using ancient wisdom. You know why? Because ancient wisdom works, it is timeless. And those of us who live in this modern day world, we probably can use some wisdom to help us on our way that the ancients have left behind. And that is what I'm best at. So, to a certain degree, fam, first and foremost, I want to know how you are doing. How are you doing? How's life treating you? Yes, I am live. Here I am. And so, yes, hello, Alafia. Alafia, how are you, Queen? It's interesting being an online entrepreneur, which is in essence part of what I do. You have to be an entrepreneur in order to learn how to get your products out, and just to get things out. You have to learn how to do it. So, I'm going through and really trying to figure out, what do I share? I don't want to come on here and sound like I'm a broken record. So pardon me for not being as consistent. It's not that I'm not being consistent. Actually, I'm trying to figure out what do I share. So when you have questions, drop them in the comments. I check the comments, I get notifications. It lets me know what you want to know about. One thing I'm very clear about. Hey, honey, how are you, Queen? Greetings. One thing I'm very clear about, and this is something that I, have talked about within my inner circle, and that is that if it's Ifa only that you want, I am not the best teacher for that. I do share Ifa. That is a tradition I'm a part of. But yeah, it's more of like spirituality, self-realization, self-mastery, women's empowerment. And I use tools such as astrology. I use the oracles, and yeah, just I channel. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at, y'all. Let's just evolve and grow and just live our best life. Like Jill Scott said, living my life like it's golden. That's what we're here for. That's what I want to bring. Gold, baby, gold. So what I decided to do is at least one time a month come on and just kind of give you a general overview of the month. This is something that I actually do in my inner circle. I do this every month. I send out what I call the spiritual care package. And in that spiritual care package is wisdom from the oracles. There's wisdom from astrology, numerology. We talk about the goddesses, and then it gives you a blow by blow play of what's happening each week. And so, yeah, this is part of what I will do. I will be coming on to talk about the new moon and the full moon. My son will be graduating soon. It's like my energy and time is getting freed up from homeschooling. So it's like, okay, I can do more here. Renee, blessings. Okay, we got Facebook in the house today. Yeah, that's what's up. We got sisters on Facebook. Okay, so what I want to do is come on and just share a little bit. And this is touching on the wisdom that I share in my inner circle. It is from the spiritual care package. And so part of the reason, I'm not going to lie, that I wanted to come on is once I finished doing this spiritual care package, I was like, oh my goodness, May is going to be a trip. May is, yes, I said gonna be. I did. I said gonna be, because that's how serious I am, y'all. May is going to be a trip. Now let's talk about why is May going to be a trip. Part of the reason May is going to be crazy is because we have Mercury retrograde happening. We also have Saturn going retrograde, and all mixed up in that is eclipse season starts. Okay, eclipse season starts. So this is no month to play with. This is not a month to trifle with. And I can tell y'all, I'm already seeing Mercury. It's like Mercury, we're not even in shadow period, which is the period that begins to kind of like whisper in your ear, this is what Mercury retrograde is going to be like for you. We're not even at the shadow yet. But I feel like Mercury retrograde is already speaking. when did Mercury go into, you see me looking off to the side because I have my spiritual care package that I'm looking at. And if you, yes, sis, Saturn goes retrograde at the end of this month. It goes retrograde in Aquarius. Are we gonna make it, Johnny? Oh my God. So yeah, Mercury moved into Gemini on the 3rd. So it's already there. And I promise you, like today, I even heard someone say, is it Mercury retrograde? I've just seen some weird things happening. And for me, what's already happening is as I write things, if I'm training myself, write everything in Grammarly first. Just write it in Grammarly because Grammarly automatically saves it. Because I've like lost posts and I'm like, I gotta write this post over again. You clicked wrong one way, one time, the whole post is gone. And like if I'm posting on Facebook for my nonprofit, it's gone. Right. So yes, Mercury retrograde, it will be May 30th through June 22nd. So Mercury retrograde is going to Mercury's going to spend a long time in Gemini, and it's wonderful in Gemini. It's home sign, but that's a long time. Mercury usually spends like 3 weeks in a sign. It will be there from May 3rd to June 22nd. All right. Now, in a way, well, I don't know, y'all. I just think we need to start figuring out what are going to be my Mercury retrograde protocols. Like, I would say, don't leave any liquid around your technology. Keep all liquid away. Okay, no liquid. Give yourself time to get to where you want to go. Watch your communication. So you may think that you wrote one thing and then you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many errors in there, expect that there may be tech issues, but don't, how sometimes it's like we start trying to like beat up our phones and stuff. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do it. So yeah, just be real patient with your technology. Oh yeah, and that's all at the end of the month. To include eclipses, and y'all know I go on and on and on. And one of the things I told my inner circle is that the eclipse in Mercury is the retrograde, Mercury being in Gemini, I always say Mercury and Gemini like interchangeably. Mercury in Gemini, Mercury retrograde in Gemini is so profound because the eclipses are in Mercury. And why is this important? So y'all know we talk about the goddess or Yah. We talk about the goddess of change and transformation. I also call her the crone goddess. And this goddess, I have figured out she is the energy of the retrograde. The retrograde is about change and transformation. And so the eclipse in Mercury will be, in Gemini will be in June. But this first eclipse is in Sagittarius. It's the part of the eclipse, the full moon in Sag. Okay, everybody hear me now. Hear my voice. The eclipse or the full moon in Sag is not just a regular full moon. This is a full moon eclipse. Okay. And so this eclipse is about releasing and letting go. It's so important. Okay. It's so important. And so, yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that once I get closer to it, because I said I would come on and talk about the moons, the new and full moon. And the new moon in Taurus next week is important because it's Taurus. It's about manifesting, baby. And Venus is in, she's getting ready to move into Gemini, but she's visible. She is in a good mood to give. So y'all, come on. Let's take advantage of this. Let's take advantage of it. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, Aquarius, and my Venus is in Aquarius, and you're a Capricorn. Yeah. I don't know what degree that Venus is. If it's close to where Saturn is retrograding, then that's stout. It doesn't matter where it is. You're going to get 3 times Saturn will move over your Venus. And so it's just really about being ready. When you're dealing with Saturn, it's just like, I just got to be ready. Okay. And so, yeah, that's something I wanted you all to know about. Now, I do want to share just a little bit of wisdom from, and I'm looking off to the side because I'm looking at my my spiritual care package. So I think what I want to tell you is, at the beginning of the month, we start off with feminine energy. It's time to really look at how we're manifesting, how are we showing up as women, how are we caring for ourselves? And then as the month moves on, it becomes more and more masculine. And so what does that mean? That just means that the way that we operate in the world is more logical. And yeah, I mean, come on, let's just be honest. The air signs, they don't be having a lot of emotion. They don't have a lot of emotion. So it's the possibility of, there's just, people are not going to have a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of logic. And sometimes it's sort of like, that's good. That's good. You know, I don't all the time like it being super emotional. But that is something to think about, that it may not be a time of feeling, but it may be a time of connectivity. But what the oracles are indicating is to care for yourself, to love on yourself, and to consider, like, how do you feel about yourself? What do you think about yourself? So that's something else to think about too. So this is a month where the sun is largely in Taurus. So, you know, we have another week or so, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks in Taurus. So it's time for us to really do some self-care. Like, I would love to hear from y'all. When was the last time you did self-care? Johnny says she's going to get a reading by the end of the month. Y'all plan on putting out a reading special pretty soon. You know, mini readings is what they'll be. But yeah, how are you taking that time to care for yourself? This is a very important concept when we are in the season of Taurus. Every season we go through, we definitely want to be making sure we tank ourselves up in some kind of way. And so I see Taurus as a time of really committing to self-care and looking at what is it that we want to manifest, and working with the goddess. I'll say the maiden form of the goddess, whatever form you want to work with, which would be Oshun is a lot of what we talk about, Heteru, Urza. Let's see here. Yeah, those are some that I'll put out there for you. Self-care is meditation. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I think meditation is one of the highest forms of self-care, because it just allows you to disconnect from the world and to really bring your energy back to yourself. I don't think people understand the importance of awareness. I think people underestimate how much awareness really and truly, it's a superpower. It's a superpower. And so when we meditate, it allows us to actually like go quiet so that we can actually hear. But I see it as very healing. So that, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Learning extra self-love. I love that, Johnny. Yes. Having extra self-love for yourself or just self-love in general, is so important. And I do wonder if May is a month where people may struggle with that. And it's just because I'm going to pull this up really quickly to show y'all what the care package looks like. Where are we? Right here. Let me just go all the way up. Here is the cover of it. I make this every month. So let's just look at it. I'll just look at the overview. So when you see here, this Metu Netter, Haru and Aset, that's what I'm talking about when I say this month is saying, hey, do you love yourself? You know, do you have, what's your self-worth and your self-value like? And you know, it's interesting. This Haru, it's turning out to be very, very interesting. I've talked to people about relationships more this month than I have in a very long time. It has been so many people who've come and asked me questions about relationships. That's interesting because I wasn't quite sure how this would. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure y'all can see. I'm just going on and on and on because when I start sharing it, okay, cool. Where are we? Let me blow this up just a little bit more. So when I first did this reading, I was not certain how it was going to play out for us. And so because it's Taurus season, I wondered, I wonder if it's going to play out where people are struggling with self-worth and self-value. And so, yeah. And I'm wondering, is YouTube connected? It should be, because I only see people here from Facebook. But anywho, so yeah, Haru, there's been a lot coming up with relationships, and a lot of it has been a little bit of a struggle. So, because that's that Haru negative. So that is definitely something to think about. And then, as you can see, something else that is highlighted is this abundance and limits. I think this is important for us to think about for this month, because yeah, Taurus is a time where we are thinking about abundance, but Taurus actually can be energy where you feel limited. It really can, because Taurus is the most inert sign. It is earth and it is fixed. And so it's hard to move Tauruses, baby. You know, now once they get going, you will not stop that Taurus. But we have to, in order to achieve abundance, we have to look at what limits do we have. So let me ask you all, what limits are there that you experience? And it could be a belief. It could be, a lot of times it's connected to your identity. And so I encourage you to really consider what's one limiting belief that you have that you can drop that would make all the difference. Like you would for certain find yourself transformed and becoming something new. And one of the things that I think is so important for us to know is that when we decide we're going to set an intention and go for it, that's when we will see the limits. When you're feeling like, okay, I'm not quite sure about this, I am doubting myself, then you can begin to say, oh, it's not really that I can't do this, because, you know, we have infinite potential. The question is, what belief am I bumping up against? And the more I allow myself to bump up against that belief, disprove it, dismantle it, then I'm able to move past it. Now, it might be a belief I can dismantle in 5 minutes. It might take 5 weeks for some people. It might take 5 months, maybe a little bit longer. You know, it all depends on where the belief stems from. But this is definitely a month for us to do that. Let's see here. My limit is coming out of my own mind. Yes, we all can relate to that. And so one of the things that I so badly want us to get, sisters, is that our identity is where we need to start. This was a game changer for me last year, because I'm telling y'all, I invest in personal development, and I invest in all kinds of books and whatever to move my life, to move me beyond where I currently am. And it could be in any area. And one of the things I've realized is that it's like I'm stuck. Like, why am I stuck? So last year when I started studying for my hypnotherapy and coaching and NLP, this is when this concept got presented to me. And it is these ways that we seek to change ourselves. How do we actually do this? And what the trainer said is, a lot of times people try to change their behavior, but the behavior stems from beliefs, which stems from values, which stem from identity. And so the way we begin to make a change is we change our identity. And we've done it before. Think about it. There was a time when you were like, this is who I am today. And then one day you just said, I'm not like that anymore. I'm done. That is not who I am. I know everyone knew me to be that way, but I'm not that way anymore. When I began to think about how many times I've done this, and I used to say to myself, you know what, when I make it up in my mind, I'm going to get this thing done. It will get done. And especially when it comes to my weight, I'll be doggone. That's exactly what happens. I would just say, you know what, I'm going to lose the weight. And that's just it. This is how much I'm going to weigh. Boom. And when I made it up in my mind, I was going to do that. That's what I became. So I want to offer that limits stem from our identity. We literally can program ourselves by saying, this is who I am. So we talk about I am and how important that statement is. Be careful what you follow I am by. But, it wasn't until I really began to test this theory of, okay, my identity, it defines the limits that are possible for me. And I just said, okay, I'm changing my identity. The way I used to be, I'm not that way anymore, taking on a whole new identity. And it's typically one that's related to where I'm headed. I am now an online business owner. I am now a spiritual guide. And I have a membership and I teach classes. That's what I do. I used to say that's what I want to do. And then one day I said, that's what I will do. Now, did I have a lot of sweat and just stress? Like, oh my God, what am I doing? I got to type it and then I got to record it. And did it record? Does it sound okay? Like, oh my gosh, it's been like just moving forward messy. But once I made that decision, that's what happened. I decided I don't care what I have to do to improve my health. My health is on the decline. Here's the latest one. And then I want to hear from you. I said to myself, this started like back in like 2018, 2017. I'm so tired of teaching dance and fitness. If I could have quit back then, I would have. Or if I could have, y'all, I could have. But I didn't see a path out. I was like, this is my career. So I was just like redefining myself when the pandemic hit last year. When the pandemic hit, I said, baby, I'm done. I am transforming. And I had to like get people to get this. I would tell them, I'm not coming back. I ain't coming back. Now I might do a little bit here and there. I taught in a fundraiser yesterday and I'm like, oh, I still like teaching. I just don't want to have to do it. And I have so many skills. I don't want to lose these teaching skills. But I just decided I'm retired. I'm a retired instructor. And I have not been teaching in over a year. Yesterday was the first time I taught in like 15 months. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. Coming out of my head about so much and freeing myself from my own self-imposed limits is what will fully set me free. I am free. I am claiming freedom. And so the other thing about switching the identity, because I love what you're saying, Johnny. And so one of the things that helps us to do this is images of the mind. We need pictures. The subconscious needs pictures. And so the more you visualize the life you want. So a lot of times it's like, I will visualize the life that I want. And, it's like we're wanting to manifest it. But what if we visualize the life we want just because we're shifting our identity? Like It's only in our mind. And once we make that shift, but through seeing all of these images, so it's like the word you use would be freedom. And so, Johnny, tell me, what does freedom look like for you? What are you doing when you wake up in the morning and you are Freedom Johnny? What does she look like? What does she have on? What kinds of things do you do first thing in the morning? Who do you talk to? What does your work look like? What kind of clothes is Freedom Johnny wearing? Because it's literally about shape shifting. So let's talk about Oshun, y'all. We've been talking about Oshun and the importance of her energy this month. Oshun is one of the chief shapeshifters. And so we have to shapeshift. We have to shapeshift and become something new. And so part of the way we begin shapeshifting is we become one with the new identity. It doesn't matter what we see in our physical reality. The only identity or the only place where it matters is within ourselves. The other thing that I'll tell y'all, and I just uploaded these videos in my the Oya course that I created. And this is about how Oya is actually one of the chief guides in shapeshifting. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what does she have to do with? Hello, Eclipse. Hello, Eclipse. What does she have to do with? Releasing, letting go, release, transformation, change. How does one, like, if we go watch shapeshifting on, some fictional show, whatever, is shapeshifting. Let's say it's a person shapeshifting. They have to surrender. They have to be open and willing to change. They have to release and let go of the form that they're in so that they can become a new form. Hello, Eclipse. That's what we need to be doing, y'all. We need to be releasing and letting go of the BS, like all the lies. That's really the limits. It's all the conditionings. It is whatever this identity is that you have. If it's bringing you stuff you don't want, it's that identity that must be released and let go of. We must release our attachments to who we have known ourselves to be in order to become pliable and malleable like Oshun, and to shapeshift ourselves into something new. It's literally, we can do this. We are superheroes. Okay, let's see here. Yes. Thank you. Let's see here. That's how I see freedom as well. Okay. I feel like I am breathing for the first time after 3 years of suffocating. Freedom. She put freedom in caps. Yes. Federa. I just want to say your name at least one time. I hate messing up folks' name, and I know you told me before, but I just definitely wanted to let you know. Yes, I appreciate all of what you're saying. We are all one accord. Okay, creative visualization. That's good. That is really, really good. Creative visualization is exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see. I think I may have missed something. I wish you just started a mini church of fellowship and teaching. I join for sure. That is my inner circle, actually. If people want to be talked to by me on a regular basis, it's in my inner circle, which you're a part of. I probably just have to make sure that everybody knows where to go in the inner circle to see all my goings on. And actually, in my inner circle, I do a live every Monday at 8:30 Eastern time. So yeah, we're actually right now in the inner circle in that Monday live stream. We are going over the book that has to do with the Ori. Not that, we're initiating into Ifa or anything like that. It's just my foundation. And that book is like, wow, packed. Okay, so let's see here. What else? Okay. So yes, we were talking about abundance and limits. So that's what we'll stop with that. So let's talk about this astrology. Just like I told y'all, May is the most intense month that I've seen since February. Yeah, let me tell y'all, May into June. May and June, y'all. Oh my goodness. I haven't looked at July yet, but I'm not going to lie, y'all. May and June, they're going to be trips. They're going to be total trips. So one of the things to think about is, okay, like I said, we have, let me blow this up a little bit, y'all, so I can see it. We have, let's see here. May is the most intense month. The energy is not as harsh. However, the intensity is pretty high because we have Saturn and Mercury. They're going retrograde the same week, along with an eclipse happening too. This is close to the end. And the other thing to know is that we are kicking off retrograde season because at the end of April, Pluto went retrograde. And y'all, I had a nice little Pluto retrograde craziness happen because, it has to do with plumbing. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, me and Pluto, we need to have a chat. Pluto going retrograde just be creating craziness. So I'll tell y'all this. When a planet goes retrograde, the retrograde is actually strongest when the planet is doing what's called stationing, which means it's slowing down in order to retrograde. And so, there's the Mercury retrograde storm period, and that period lasts probably, it lasts several days. And so, yeah, that's something to understand and know. And so the same is true for Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and Uranus and Neptune, Mars, Venus. All of these planets, when they start retrograding, they are, the power is strong right at the beginning. And then once they sort of settle into their retrograde, the energy sort of calms down. And so these are actually things to be thinking about. The planets are retrograding the same week as an eclipse. Okay, can somebody help me? All right, Oya, be gentle with us. Come on, Oya. I'm needing you to help me, Oya. So yeah, these are things to be considering. And so the other thing that I was saying is, there was a time we had no retrograde planets. When Mercury went direct after its retrograde in Aquarius, we had no more retrograde planets. So that's been since February, I think. No retrograde planets. So now we have Pluto retrograde, Mercury goes retrograde, Saturn goes retrograde. That's 3 planets that will be retrograde. So that's starting this period where we want to just start slowing down a little bit and realizing, okay, it's time for me to go back and catch a lesson or to finish something that I started. It's retrograde kind of puts the brakes on things, right? But retrogrades always make us better. So that's something to think about. And then the other thing that is, to me, a big deal is this eclipse in Sagittarius. Wow. All the same week. It's closer to the end of the month. So starting around the 15th, that's when things really start shifting and shaking. And just to kind of give you a preview of June, when we go into June. So I want y'all to think about something. Do y'all remember that week? Oh, it was really all of February. But y'all remember that week where there was frigid temperatures and it was just an S show down in Texas? Folks in Texas, they didn't have no electricity or they were doing the rolling blackouts. It's ice. They're covered in ice. You can't get out. You can't drive. So that week was the week of the main astrology happenings this year, which is called the Saturn-Pluto square. And so that square is going to happen 3 times this year. We've already had it once. Guess when the second time is? June. And during June, we have an eclipse. And Mercury still will be retrograde. Just like, why? Why, universe, are you doing this to me? Yes, I have that book, sister. I have the book called Creative Visualization. Have you read that book? I'm not going to lie. I have not read the book yet. I need to. Okay. I feel like one of those old school church mothers waving her hands and clearing the energy for new life and beginnings, speaking out into the atmosphere. Ashe, new life. Wonderful. Yes, be natural. This is the goddess. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Johnny. So tell me what you think about the book, because I need to. Okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm committing to you, Sister Federa. I am going to read the book. I'm going to get on here. Give me about 2 months because I got a lot of content I need to create. And I will tell you I've read that book. Okay, it's out in the universe. Johnny, besides Mercury and Saturn going retrograde this month, what are the other planets? When are they going retrograde? No, those are the only two this month, and that will be closer to the end of the month. Okay, it's worth reading. I received that. So yeah, those are the only two planets. Of course, Pluto's already retrograde, but yeah, that's really the thing to know. We have those two moons, the new moon in Taurus, the full moon eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Mercury goes retrograde, Saturn, and it's all preparing us. Let me go back to this. Woo, I always get just like winded. When I think about the Saturn Uranus square, it's no joke, y'all. It's no joke. Okay, so that will be in June. And I cannot overstate the importance of, like, we've got to pay attention to this. Now, this Uranus Saturn square, it really creates a lot of social unrest. It's why there's no rest in the month of, well, we have not had rest. We've had a lot of social unrest in 2021. 2021 isn't as bad in many ways as 2020. 2020 was just like took the whole table and just threw it over, right? And 2021 is like, you're going to clean up every little bit of this dust that's on the floor. You're going to get all the mess that was on the wall from 2020. You're going to get every bit of that off. And, and I'm going to sit here and make sure that this happens. When I come back and check, you need to make sure you have this done. This is what 2021 is like. And 2021 is also like, you know what? I'm tired of the old. I'm done. The old don't work for me no more. And so, I'm just done. Everyone's done. No one has two F's to give anymore, right? And so 2021 is like, it's about social unrest. 2022, I think, will be way more gentle and sort of like our minds can settle down. But 2021, social unrest. That's what the Uranus Saturn square is about. It's about upending society, tossing out the old, bringing in the new. And so for me, I think it's just prime for us to make change. It's like, you know what? Okay, I want to be somebody new and different. Let's just do it. 2020 took everything from us. We may as well just go on ahead and do something new. If what you were doing was working, maybe you just want to improve it a little bit, add a few facets to it. So it's that is what we are preparing for. Yes, sister. It's, oh my goodness. Yes, Johnny, they are a trip. So here we have the spiritual care package. And so, like I said, if you're in my inner circle, please just go into the inner circle and go under the monthly wisdom, under products. It's under the product tab. And that's where you will find the monthly wisdom. But if you're not a part of the inner circle, what I've decided to do is to start offering this, so people can get it. It actually comes with this printable, and it comes with 2 videos that explain what May is all about. I go full on in depth. I break down all the oracles. And I also am including rituals for the new and full moon. So you can ask, well, y'all don't know my inner circle members, but if they were here, they would tell you, like this last full moon, I created, the last full moon for Scorpio, I created, and I'll just scroll through just to kind of show y'all. Let me do it this way. It's like so many pages. So I go through the oracles and numerology, and I break down the moons. And I love this chart because it's just so easy to see what do we really have going on with these planets. This is for somebody who probably really loves astrology. And then I break down the weeks. Now, in the care package that I'm putting on my website, where if you want to buy this, you can buy it. I don't include the videos that break down the week. That's just for the inner, it's only in my inner circle. So you can join that to get that. But let's just see, for instance, what do we have here? I'm gonna blow this up. This is for this week. So yeah, I listed that May 4th to July 11th, Mercury moves into Gemini. It's great. It's a really good placement. And I'm going to tell you another reason why this is a great placement. It is a great placement because it's good for people who have to write, do business. It makes us more social. It's a fun energy. Mercury is fun. Gemini is fun. It's a really good time to get out and walk. And see, Venus moves there on the 8th, which is in 2 days. So Venus will be there. What is that? Saturday. And so it's ushering us into Gemini season, but thankfully the sun is still in Taurus. I'm not gonna lie, I need the sun in Taurus. And you can see here, I break down, like today, the moon is in Pisces. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was so like stressed because we have a fundraiser for my nonprofit where I work. And I was like, are we going to be able to pull this fundraiser off? It's 24 hours. We started yesterday into today. And we actually did we got very close to our goal, which was 5,000. And we got to 4,100. And I said, oh, look at us, moon in Pisces. It's a great moon to do fundraising in, but it's also a really good moon to, take care of yourself, because, it's like so much go, go, go energy. So, we started the week out in Capricorn, which, man, I'm telling y'all, on Sunday, I was highly productive until that moon went void. And I show all the void moons right here. And if you don't know what a void moon is, it's a moon that has no energy, and it's best to like relax, take it easy, just finish some things up. Don't go on a job interview. Don't start a relationship. Wait till the moon gets in a sign before you start your relationship. A void moon. If let's say you want something to fail, try starting it during the void or scheduling it during the void moon. Man, you're setting yourself up for that thing to fail. And I really mean it. Sometimes we're doing something and you're like, I really don't want to do this, so I'm just going to schedule it during a void moon. I'm not going to say it's foolproof, y'all. I'm not saying it'll fail for sure, but it won't have a lot of energy about it. And then you can see we go into Aries. So all of this is in the spiritual care package. I break down Sunday through Tuesday and all that kind of good stuff so that you can use this as a guide. Like I said, y'all know my goal is to help women walk in their power using ancient wisdom. I'm all into personal development too. So using tools like creative visualization, like Sister Federas talked about. And I also include, this is new, I just started doing this month, an affirmation for us to use. So for this week, and y'all can take this into the rest of your week, I am strong. My physical and intellectual powers are my greatest resource. And I'm going to tell y'all one of the reasons I really love this affirmation, I am strong, and it talks about it being a part of our resources, is because last year there was an astrological meeting between Jupiter and Pluto. Ooh, Pluto. I love Pluto. I love you, Pluto. Pluto is like, oh yeah, I love you, Pluto. And these 3 meetings, it was 3 last year. These 3 meetings helped us to tap into inner resources that we did not know that were there, because see, Jupiter is the inner resource, but the inner resource is hidden. So this meeting helped us to tap into those inner resources. And so once we tapped into those inner resources, Jupiter helped us to change them into a blessing, something that we could use for our benefit, because that's what Jupiter does. It is the great benefic. And so, yeah, I just want to put that out there to you all, that the greatest resource that you have is within you. And it kind of goes back to, this inner change that we have talked about. And, how everything is beginning on the inside of us. And so I encourage you to think about your inner resources. So, we think about the hard lessons that we've learned. That becomes an inner resource. Now we take something that was once a wound, and it now becomes like gold. It is literally a resource that we can draw on, that we can use to benefit ourselves, to help us navigate this space-time continuum, to help us to manifest and bring into our lives what we desire. We think about our gifts and our talents. Those are our inner resources. And how many of us leave those untapped? And I say it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about it. The only thing that matters is that you tap it and that you use it in the way that makes you feel good, that lights you up. And so if you sing, it doesn't matter if you're just singing in the shower. I am telling you, if you tap into that inner resource of singing, one time when you're singing in the shower, some idea will come from up on high. It is the answer that you have been looking for. But some of us gonna sing and make some money at it. Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm very okay. I have Taurus energy. Okay. So y'all don't judge me. I have Taurus energy, and I'm like, if you want to make those money bags, go do it. I'm okay with that. And I am, like many of y'all who watch me, yes, anti-capitalism, but, I am about being resourceful and having resources. I think everyone should have resources. So let's see here. So yeah, that's what the care package looks like. And the other thing to know is that if you want to buy it, there's a link. Johnny, you're in the inner circle, so just log into your account. But anyone else, it's in the description box if you decide you want to. Oh, hold up. Federa, my moon and North Node is in Gemini. Wow. First of all, you're very fun. I love Geminian energy. Of course, I love all the signs. I just feel like Geminis get such a bad rap. I don't know your other signs, but you're having a nodal return. This is so wonderful. I think the nodal returns happen around like every 18, 19 years or so, which means a renewal of mission and purpose, because that's what the North Node is about. So anything that you can do at the Sag moon, the Sag eclipse, to release and let go of anything that's preventing you from fully aligning with your purpose, you can release it and let it go. Or maybe it's not blocking it, but you just don't need it anymore. So that once the eclipse comes in, now when you have an eclipse with your moon, and I don't know how close the eclipses will be to your moon, but that eclipse in June, it could mean you're moving. It could be some change that's happening in your body or with your mother, or if you have children, you as a mom, some change that's happening. So Yeah, that's exciting. I personally get a little nervous about things like that, but it's just like, y'all, I'm a risk taker. I'm like, you know what? Let's just see what's going to happen. Typically, with eclipses, though, there is a whisper. It's that way y'all win. She'll whisper to you and let you know what's on the horizon for you. So, thank y'all so much for being here with me. I appreciate you. I'm going to go on ahead and get off because I have one more video I'm going to make. If you go to my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com, there is a freebie that I have on there. It is the Goddess-Centered Guide, or the Guide to Living a Goddess-Centered Lifestyle. Or you can just get on the email list because I will be sending out a video. Typically, I do like early releases via my, my email list. And then I'll release it here. So if you want to be on for an early release, I'm going to be talking about values. And the reason I'm talking about this, y'all, is it's Taurus season. It's Taurus season. But I did want to come on and share some wisdom for May. I hope that this is helpful for everyone. I hope that May 2021 is kind to all of us. And the best way to work with this kind of energy is to honor what is the requirement. What is the mandate of the season? Don't let the world dictate to what you're doing. Listen to the wisdom from up on high, from time memorial, and it will give you the understanding of how to best navigate this time. Oh my gosh, I will be a grandma between the end of June, beginning of July. There you go. There you go. Is it in your ninth house? Is Gemini your ninth house? I would love to know, what is your ninth house? Because I've heard well, not I've heard, but in my astrology classes, we say that's the house for grandparents, being a grandparent. So, woo, congratulations. I have other friends who are becoming grandmothers and grandfathers, and it looks so exciting. I'm not in a rush because my kids, they just, like, I have a 20-year-old and an almost 18-year-old, but I like, when is my time? I have some young ladies in my life who have children. So I'm like, yeah, they're I'm their god grandma. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Just let me know. Admin at goddessbodymindspirit.com. Or if you just go to my website, Goddess Body Mind Spirit, and there's a contact button if you don't already have my email. So you can just send it via email. I'm so excited for you. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good evening. I appreciate you. And yeah, have a wonderful May 2021. Peace and love.